Time for a little NBA Today fill in the blank, shall we? So I'm going to give you all a statement, and it's going to be missing one important word. And you can write your choice of word with our fine marker board in front of you, our dry erase board. First up, we're going to go to the Timberwolves. They lost again last night to the Trailblazers. It was the second time in as many days, and Minnesota went 7 of 39 from 3, including 0 of 9 from Anthony Edwards. The Timberwolves are now 6-6 on the season, and their once elite defense has dropped from first to last to 9th. Right?
Yeah.
Perk, fill in the blank. The Timberwolves' biggest issue is blank.
It's shooting.
Okay.
Right? Like, I'm not going to overreact to their defense. I mean, 1st to 9 is not bad. They still top 10, but they're on a 3-game losing streak right now. As a team, they're shooting 27% from the 3, and Anthony Edwards is 8 for 33 in his last 3 games from 3. A guy that got off to an outstanding start. A guy that was shooting, 46% from 3, most threes made. So, again, they got to go back to finding that balance of playing inside out, and especially when you have a guy like Julius Randle. I think that first game in Portland, one of those 2 games, he only had 9 shot attempts.
Right.
It's not go get.
Well, with no Ayton, they're missing a handful of guys. Anthony Simons, it's not exactly what you want to see. All right, next up, the Pacers. They lost to the Magic by 4 last night. That's despite his 11 assists. Tyrese Haliburon scored only 9 points in the game. He shot 29% from the field. Indiana 3-3 in November. Haliburon averaging 26 points in the wins, only 9 points in the loss. So legs. Please fill in the blank. Tyrese Haliburton's biggest problem is?
This doesn't have to be one word. I cleared that up before the segment.
Okay, so we're doing multiple words here.
You know me, I can't do anything.
Writing a book.
No, that's you, Tim. You're writing the book.
All right, here we go. Ready? Here's the problem. Floor too low. Here's what I mean by that. He's got 6 games this year in which he has combined to shoot 26% from the field and 20% from the three-point line. What this means is when he's bad, he's not giving his team a chance to win. You've got to find some middle ground. Like, even on a bad night, you've got to get to certain numbers in this league if you want to really be considered an all-star caliber player. You find a way to do it. He has been a non-factor offensively. Now, I know he still distributes and makes plays, and I understand that. He's the engine of their offense. They need his scoring. They need his three-point shooting. And on too many nights, his floor is too low to give them a chance to overcome it.
I'm glad you cleared that up because I was going ceiling is the roof, floor too low.
We always talk about player ceilings. So
Yes.
What's their floor? His is too low. His is in the basement.
Absolutely. All right, one more. The Dallas Mavericks. They're under 500. They've lost their last 3 straight to the Suns, the Nuggets, the Warriors. All of them are West contenders, right? And their 3 losses, they're by 3 points or less. That drops the Mavs to 1-5 in clutch time games this season. That ties them for the worst in the league with the New York Knicks. So this is for the group. But I'm going to start with you, since you know the Mavs better than anybody, Tim. Fill in the blank here. The Dallas Mavericks struggles a bit. Oh, he needed no time.
Me, amiga?
And wrote cojones on television.
We are going in Espanol. It is cojones. You mentioned the clutch. 4 of their games have come down to the final possession. They have lost all 4. 1 of 7 shooting in those situations. This is a team that was the best in the league last year in those situations. This is the complete opposite. I say they will get back to where they were last year at some point, but it hadn't been yet, and that's why they're sub 500 right now.
Gracias. Cojones is your word, Perk. Are we sticking in Spanish or are we going to English?
No, we're going to keep it simple.
Okay.
Can you see that? Pride defensively. Jason Kidd then called them out publicly. You watch Luka in the 4th quarter, especially against Golden State. No effort whatsoever. No pride to even try to slide those puppies. And it's a ripple effect, right? When you're a team that went to the finals last year, you got to have that same hunger. You got to be starving. I don't see that out of the Dallas Mavericks. They're going to put up points because you have Kyrie Irving, you have Luka, you have Clay, you have dynamic rollers. Defensively, starting with the top, when are you going to have pride defensively, self-pride, so that guys are not picking on you?
Both great answers. I went in a little bit of a different area. Their problems have been self-inflicted. It kind of also alludes to what you were saying and how they've played in the clutch. I also think, listen, they're not going to start winning games more consistently until Luka Doncic is more efficient. It's that simple. When you have that kind of usage rate and your numbers are 41% from the field, you're in the low 30s from the three-point line, and you take that many shots, it's going to be difficult to overcome that. I also don't think they've managed late games very well in terms of some of the decision-making that they've made. It doesn't always have to be a Luka ISO or a Luka step-back three, particularly when Kyrie Irving is shooting 54 from the field and 54 from the three to start the season. So I think they need to look in the mirror and collectively figure out how they're going to start closing games, and it starts with Luka Doncic has to play better. He has to shoot better and be more efficient.
Well, the Mavericks, they play the Utah Jazz tonight. It looks like Kyrie Irving is now questionable for this tonight's game with a shoulder strain, maybe some rest here for Kyrie Irving. We'll see. We'll keep monitoring that. I was going to draw words, but then I realized our wonderful producer, Hillary Guy, had drawn me a doodle. I think it's supposed to be me, so it was too cute. I couldn't erase it. The curly hair.
That's pretty good.
I'm feeling it. Hillary,
I want one of me.
Yeah.
We'll work on that in the break. I think Hillary can whip that up.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA over here,